God, I love you.
Number 10. The Restaurant. The Invisible Man. The Invisible Man reimagining from 2020 did a lot of things right when it came to updating a classic horror story. Themes of gaslighting, manipulation, and domestic violence were all fair game here, and the execution of these themes almost certainly came to a head during the restaurant scene.
I need that strength in my life right now. And I need you to believe what I'm about to tell you.
Here, a troubled and tormented Cecilia is attempting to confide in her sister Emily in a busy public location. There's a disturbing parallel between the efforts some victims put into distancing themselves from their abuser and the goals Cecilia has for this meeting.
I found something that can prove what I'm experiencing. That can prove that Adrian is stalking me.
Then, Cecilia's ex, Adrian, who's now invisible, strikes with shocking and sudden violence and attacks Emily. It's a moment that makes the audience, and us, jump with shock and fear. Number 9. The Crawlers Appear. The Descent. There's a lot of slow build within 2005's The Descent.
Okay, move now!
Director Neil Marshall perfectly makes us wait for the moment when the subterranean crawlers make their first appearance. In fact, we're so unaware by the scene that we always forget exactly the whereabouts of that pesky jump scare. This speaks volumes to how well Marshall writes his characters, how much we care about what happens to them, and how they will, hopefully, make it out alive. Don't get us wrong, the crawlers are absolutely badass, but The Descent honestly would have been great simply working as a claustrophobic underground thriller. Number 8. The greatest head explosion in the history of cinema. Scanners. Yes, we realise that statement is a bit hyperbolic, but honestly, can you blame us?
At this point, I'd like to call for volunteers. Anyone, doesn't matter.
Everyone of a certain age remembers where they were the first time this groundbreaking effect from David Cronenberg's scanners assaulted their eyeballs. It's a scene that not only sets up the universe of these scanners and their telekinetic strength, but also succeeds to further the special effects medium as a whole.
Yes, I have something. Do I have to close my eyes?
It doesn't matter.
All right, yes, I have something.
Michael Ironside's Daryl Revick is a villain for the ages, a malevolent force that's out to be the top scanner, at any cost. His powers are so great, in fact, that he's able to mentally punish a fellow scanner with such intensity that the latter's head explodes with a velocity that needs to be seen to be believed.
I want you to come with me.
I didn't do anything.
I said I want you to come with me.
Number 7. Death Wears Red. Don't Look Now.
Please let him not go. Fetch him. Fetch him.
Don't Look Now, and indeed the cinema of director Nicholas Roeg as a whole, has a lot of things to say that go beyond the realms of horror.
Va bene. Tutti va bene. Io amico.
Grief, trauma, and guilt all come into play with this film's story of parents whose moment of distraction results in the tragic death of their daughter. The rest of Don't Look Now deals primarily with the aftermath of this accident, as well as the couple's determination to contact the presence of their child. As a result, the film's ending comes completely out of left field, as the father, John, is murdered by a dwarven serial killer.
Wait.
The fact that John's murderer is wearing a coat similar to that of his daughter only adds to this moment's memorable execution. Number 6. Marty in the Mirror. Poltergeist.
I'm gonna go get something to eat.
1982's Poltergeist, for many, serves as a great entryway into the world of horror. It's frightening and tense, but not quite graphic enough to traumatize younger kids seeking to dip their toes into some heavier stuff. Well, perhaps with one exception. The scene where parapsychologist Marty is looking into a mirror gets freaky when he starts peeling his skin away, bit by bit. The moment is one that could have only taken place within an 80s PG-rated film, and, in fairness, Marty happens to be hallucinating the incident. However, fans probably never forgot the shock this scene gave them when they first watched it back in '82.
What is it? What is it?
Number 5. Clear. The Thing.
One to the dock. Get him in here. And bring the others. Now nobody gets out of my sight.
Director John Carpenter inserted a lot of "I can't believe they just did that" moments into his reimagining of The Thing from Another World back in 1982. Now titled simply The Thing, Carpenter's version provides a nightmarish vision of a creature that can infiltrate, assimilate, and mimic just about anything, with spectacularly grotesque results. The blood test scene does a great job at showcasing how subtlety covert this thing can be while hiding. Additionally, the scene where using a defibrillator goes horribly wrong has entered the annals of movie-making history.
Clear!
It's such a special effect shock to see the stomach of crew member Norris turn into a giant mouth with sharp teeth. The shock that still gets our goat so many years later. Number 4. No Good Deed. The Mist.
We gave it a good shot. Nobody can say we didn't.
It was the horror movie ending that shocked a generation. The ending of writer-director Frank Darabont's adaptation of Stephen King's novella The Mist.
For once.
There's 5 of us.
King's original work didn't choose to go the downer ending route, but Darabont, with author's blessing, decided to go full 1970s with this one. That decade saw many American films choosing to present more realistic and not necessarily satisfying endings to their stories, and The Mist is definitely cut from that cloth. How else could it justify the decision to have Thomas Jane's David commit an act of murderous mercy in a car, only for help to arrive moments later? It's a shock that continues to reverberate throughout horror fandom, and it probably always will. Number 3. Chest Burster. Alien.
Anyway, where are we?
Right here.
We're on our way home.
Yeah, back to the old freezerinos.
Oh, no. Gotta have something to eat before we go back.
Let's go. I need something.
We realise that some of these moments possess a "you had to have been there" sensibility to them, but the act of an alien chestburster scene is just still so freaking cool, man. Even so many years removed from the OG.
What's the matter? The food ain't that bad, baby.
Eat your What's wrong?
What?
Veronica Cartwright's shocked expression and reaction just sort of says it all, really. She was not ready for what was about to happen to her co-star John Hurt, and neither was the audience.
No.
Don't touch it!
It's a violent moment that not only tells us what the aliens are capable of, but also how they breed and what lengths they will go to ensure that they remain the apex interstellar predators. Number 2. Crucifix Abuse. The Exorcist. Will rumours about The Exorcist and the legacy of its release ever stop swirling within the horror movie zeitgeist? We're not sure. And we're also not sure if we want it to either. Not with shocking moments like this one. Horror cinema wasn't exactly too far removed from the atomic age creature features of the 1950s when The Exorcist was released in 1973. Audiences frankly had a difficult time accepting the level of blasphemous violence on display here, particularly involving such a young actor. The image of Regan McNeil burying a crucifix deep within her body in such a visceral and bloody fashion is upsetting to some, evil to others, and thoroughly important to horror cinema's progression as an art form.
You know what she did?
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. The death of Casey Becker. Scream. Brutal and unexpected. Hobbled. Misery. We still wince.
God, I love you.
All for you, Damien. The Omen. Self-destruction for the Antichrist.
Look at me, Damien. It's all for you.
Grandpa and the Hammer. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Fresh meat for the slaughterhouse.
Give me the hammer. I'll get her. Get her, Grandpa. Give me the hammer. Get it, Grandpa. I'll kill her. Let me get her. It's the bit.
Elevator attack. Dawn of the Dead. Reach out, touch death. Number 1. The shower scene. Psycho. Alfred Hitchcock's reputation as the master of suspense is definitely well earned, as evidenced by the fact that movies like Psycho continue to top lists like this one. Hitchcock managed to influence many young filmmakers in the wake of this film's bait-and-switch shower murder of Marion Crane. The shower scene's setup, execution, and legacy was as such that Hitch and Psycho would go on to inspire not only Italy's giallo cycle of murder mysteries, but even the American slasher movie. Furthermore, the scene serves as a turning point in the film, a shocking death of a character we've been following up until this point, and the beginning of Psycho's second half. It's timeless stuff.
Mother, oh God, Mother, blood.
What was the first moment that shocked you in a horror movie? Does it still bother you today? Let us know in the comments.
You gotta be f***ing kidding.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.